The opposition Voice of People's Party tore into the Conrad Sangma-led MDA government in the state, accusing it of lacking accountability and failing to deliver meaningful outcomes across key sectors despite 7 years in power. So speaking exclusively to Northeast Live, VPP spokesperson Batskhem Myrboh alleged that the government's claims of progress are not backed by transparent or verifiable data. Meanwhile, the VPP slammed the Conrad Sangma government for big claims in sectors like education, adding that Meghalaya's ranking in the PGI index continues to remain poor. The VPP also demanded proper audit of social security schemes to prove that they are not mere promotional rhetoric. The vocal regional party also raised concerns over spending on unproductive projects. The VPP also cornered the government on its power surplus state claim. The opposition party also warned that the state's rising dependence on loans for infrastructure without outcome-based planning could become a long-term burden.
You see, we need to have data in order to evaluate the working of any government, and this data has to be based on transparent method of arriving. It has to be based on sound methodology, and without data it is difficult. When you see, the government has been saying that our education, education is what top priority sector, and we have done this, we have done that. To talk so much, they go around saying about their commitment. But when the report came out, we were placed at the bottom at the national level. Going around trumpeting the schemes of the government without knowing the outcomes, because we are not simply interested about your announcement. We are interested in knowing the outcomes. Yeah, definitely, without the data, how will we be convinced also? There should be data to back up the achievement of the government. Here again, when it comes to repair of the roads, in many villages, in many internal areas of the state, you'll find that road conditions are pathetic. There are villages where roads remain unrepaired for so many, for decades.
All right, more on this, I'm being joined live with our Chief News Editor, Nabarun Goswami. So, Nabarun, the opposition Voice of People's Party tore into the Conrad Sangma-led MDA government. They questioned government's claim in key sectors. Nabarun, your perspective on this?
Absolutely, Priya. This is the biggest attack on the Conrad Sangma government in recent times by the opposition VPP, which has been vocal all along as far as the state of affairs in Meghalaya is concerned. And this time it has specifically mentioned certain sectors, highlighted certain sectors. If we can have the graphics on the screens, some of the points are there which the VPP has pointed out. First of all, it has taken the state government on the education sector, even though the state government, the Conrad Sangma government repeatedly says that it wants to make Meghalaya once again, Shillong once again, an education hub of the region, not just the region Eastern India. Meghalaya ranks very poor in the PGI index. That has been a hot topic for the last couple of days or more in the state. And the state education minister Conrad Sangma has tried to blame this dismal show on previous governments and several other factors like obsolete data and all. But of course, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has agreed that things need to improve in the education sector. Another sector the VPP spoke about is the power sector. The government claims, as per the VPP, that Meghalaya is power surplus, but you go to the rural areas of the state, there is regular load shedding, power outage, and even in the state capital Shillong, there are seasons where the city has to face a lot of load shedding and power outage. So these are some of the issues. Secondly, rural roads are in a dismal condition, says the VPP. While the main roads, the national highways, are maintained due to the central government schemes, things are pathetic when it comes to rural roads. The VPP also goes on to question the livelihood programs, the social welfare programs of the Conrad Sangma government, like Focus. Just a few days ago, the government had dispersed over 8 crore under the program, but the VPP wants an auditing of these schemes to ensure that the funds are properly utilized. The VPP also believes that there's a lot of promotional rhetoric that the Conrad Sangma government is taking part in, and that the real picture is something different. There is no accountability, there is no transparency. The government is banking heavily on loans for infra, which could put the state in trouble in the long run. It will burden the state in the long run. That is what the VPP fears. The government is spending on projects, non-productive projects, or projects which are not giving as much returns. So the VPP has painted a very bleak picture as far as the current state of affairs is concerned. Definitely the state government has to answer on all these parameters. What is its defense when it comes to these issues raised by this very vocal regional opposition party in Meghalaya? Priya.
Right, Nabarun, thank you so much for all those details.